Well, it's time for morning manna, how to hear God's voice, how to discern. How do I know this is God speaking to me in the time in which I'm at the fork in my life. I have to make a decision, or I just simply want to know, how do I hear your voice? How am I certain that's you talking to me, God? The text, the talk, and the takeaway. The text is Genesis 28:13. Genesis 28:13. Before you turn there, look there, read it. I want to just tell you the context of it. Here is Jacob. You already know it from children's Sunday school lesson, Jacob's ladder. Jacob is trying to discern what to do concerning his life, concerning Esau, concerning the past, concerning where he's going, concerning the decisions that he's made, the mistakes that he may have made, trying to hear God in the midst. So he's on the run. He takes a stone, lays his head on the stone, goes to sleep, and there we hear the famous Jacob's ladder. 28:13 is what happens. There above it stood the Lord, and he said, above the ladder that he is now dreaming, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham. And God proceeds to talk to him. Jacob's ladder is laying there at Bethel, and the angels are ascending and descending. And in verse 16, Jacob was asleep and he awoke and he said, surely God was here. I was not aware. Now, he was not aware in that he wasn't able to discern the moment, to pull in the moment. But after the fact, he said, God was here. Isn't this surely the house of God? And it was awesome. It was awesome. There is no greater feeling than to know that I've heard God's voice. There is no greater feeling to know that I am in such a relationship with the Lord. I know when he's talking to me. It is no greater feeling. It's awesome. Jacob said it himself. God was here, and it was an awesome moment, and I wish I could have discerned it even better, even though that I'm looking at it in retrospect. Have you ever been there? 3 things I want to share with you with respect to helping you know the voice of God, to hear his voice. The first thing is look for God in your dreams. Now be cautious, be careful, because dreams can be all over the map. And dreams they come up out of our consciousness into our subconsciousness when we are asleep. Many times our fears come up in our dreams, but also God speaks in our dream. Not every dream. So I'm not trying to say that. I'm simply saying that there are times when God will speak to you in your dreams. Now, how do I manage that, Bishop? The way you manage that, when I believe that God has spoken to me in a dream, is look for confirmation. Look for confirmation in the word. Look for confirmation from others who may not, clearly were not in your dream, did not know you even dreamt of what God was saying. But make sure you know this. God can and will speak to you in your dreams. How do I hear his voice? How do I hear God? Number 1, dreams. It's going to be about this all week long. Not about dreams, but how to hear God. Okay? Number 2, look for God when there is no distractions. Look for God when there are no distractions. When you are distracted, you cannot hear God. It is like the old radio station. And now many of us, we listen to satellite radio, we watch things, we listen to things on our computer. We don't remember the days in which when you had to tune in the channel. And when you tuned in the channel, you had to get right on the channel or there would be a lot of static because you weren't there. There would be a lot of distortion and distraction. The same thing, and just help some of my millennials here. There was a day that everything wasn't streaming, okay? You literally had your television connected to an antenna on the outside of the house, and you had somebody turning the antenna so that it can get tuned in. Well, buffering, if you will. And so you had to make sure there were no distractions. When you're trying to hear the voice of God, make sure there's no distractions. And when there isn't, you're probably going to hear his voice. The third thing is this. Look for God when you have to make a decision. When you have to make a decision, he says, now, if you lack wisdom, ask, he'll give it to you freely. God will show up when you're trying to make a decision. God will show up when there are no distractions. And God will show up in your dreams. What's your takeaway this morning? Learn the voice of God. Look for God in the midst of your situation and listen. Learn, look, and listen. I got more. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna as we deal with how to hear God. Share the manna, pull somebody else in, invite them this week to hear. How do I hear the voice of God? The Lord be with you. May his face shine upon you, give you peace. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna and midweek prayer. Bye now.